So an oscillator is a device that is capable of generating these oscillations. So if I simply draw a box, this is my box, and I will say that this is capable of generating or giving me the output like this. And definitely when I say that this is my sinusoidal signal, so definitely a frequency, will be attached to it, means f in the hertz, I must say. So this frequency is the frequency of the oscillations of this sinusoidal signal, on which, or I can say, this box, which is called as here as an oscillator, is capable of generating it, right? So if I relate it with an amplifier, because we have done a complete study on this amplifier, we have got enough knowledge about this amplifier. So what was an amplifier? Amplifier was nothing but again a device which is capable of amplifying your input signal. Means over there you are going to apply an input signal, and in the output you are going to get an output signal which is in the amplified. For example, if this is my input signal, then definitely in the output I would get the amplified output. So this is the amplified signal, and I will say this is my amplifier. In addition to it, we also have few biasing signals. So I will add here this DC signals, or simply the biasing signals. So with the help of these DC signals, this input is amplified to a larger value, and that is obtained at the output. We have seen the transistor, the operation of the transistor as an amplifier, where we have seen that if its input junction is forward biased and its output junction is reverse biased, or in the case of the common base, your junction of emitter base and junction of collector base are forward bias and reverse bias respectively, then that transistor can act as an amplifier. Now, what is this oscillator? If I relate this oscillator and an amplifier blocks, I will say here that in the oscillator I get the output, but I apply only the DC signals. Means there is no input in the oscillator, or if I write here V input, it is equal to 0. If I am capable of generating a signal from a device by just giving the DC signals, what is the output signal or the sinusoidal signal? It is an AC signal. It means I am capable of generating an AC signal from a device by just giving the DC signals, or in the other case I can say without applying any input, which is in the case of the amplifier is the sinusoidal signal, and we are not applying any input, but still we are getting the AC output with the help of the DC signal. Then that kind of device is called as oscillator, right? So this is the very basic idea regarding an oscillator, and how we are going to achieve it, we will discuss it later in the lecture. But right now the idea is that how this amplifier is different from an oscillator, or an oscillator is different from an amplifier. Now, in addition to it, I also want to give you a brief idea regarding the oscillations. Now, what do you mean by the oscillations? Oscillations are nothing but the signal in the form of either sinusoidal or in the non-sinusoidal. Non-sinusoidal signal means in the form of square wave, which is having some particular frequency. So in both the cases, you will find time period associated with it. This is the capital T, and over here, this capital T will be this one. So in both the cases, you will find a frequency associated with this time period, that is f is equal to 1 by capital T, and we can denote it in the hertz. Right now, how these oscillations are produced? This is again an important point. I guess you all have studied about resonance. Resonance is nothing but it is a state where your impedance is very small in a series RLC circuit. If I talk resonance in a series RLC circuit, it means I will reach to a point in a frequency where my gain is very large. If I talk about the gain, or simply here if I talk about the current at the frequency, then I will see here that as I move, my curve is somewhat like this in the frequency. It means exactly at a particular frequency, depending upon the quality factor, this may be wide, this may be very sharp. I'm just assuming that it is giving me the maximum current at a particular frequency, let that particular frequency be f naught. And this current I would say is the maximum, so I will write here I maximum. So in a series RLC circuit, this state is achieved when your XL, that is the reactance provided by the inductor, is equal to the reactance provided by the capacitor. Right? So in that case, your total impedance, which is equal to R plus J of XL minus XC, will be reduced to only Z is equal to R, because this factor has reduced to 0 at a particular frequency, and that frequency is f naught over here. So I can say here, at resonance, the impedance provided by this series RLC circuit is minimum. So I will write here Z minimum. And the current provided by that system will be the maximum current. So if I take this RLC circuit, then you will say exactly at resonance, what is going to happen? The current flowing through it will be maximum. And this will happen only for a particular frequency. Means if this is a sinusoidal voltage, V is equal to Vm sine omega t, then definitely at particular frequency, this condition will be achieved, and the current obtained or the output obtained will be maximum in that case. So this is resonance, and the resonant frequency you will find there, it is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of LC. It means whenever I am generating an oscillation, these oscillations are generated at a particular frequency, but due to some impedance, or I can also generate it with the help of a tank circuit. Okay, I will explain you that tank circuit. It will give you a better understanding of these things. So this is a tank circuit. What is tank circuit? It is nothing but a parallel combination of L and C circuit. Now, this in the tank circuit, if I assume that this is a capacitor with a value C and this is an inductor with a value L, and I also assume that in the starting this capacitor is totally charged to some voltage, V voltage, then what is happen? If I assume here a switch, and in the initial stage this switch is open, and in the second part I say that now I'm going to close this switch. It means, okay, this is inductor over here. It means this inductor and this capacitor will start transferring the energy. We all know that capacitor stores energy in the form of electric field, and an inductor stores energy in the form of the magnetic field. Now, as this capacitor is charged, definitely due to the closed circuit, the current will start flowing through it, and the direction of the current will be through the positive side. Now, the current will start flowing through it. As we know in an inductor, whenever there is a flow of the current, this as this capacitor is discharging, or I can say this electrical energy is being transferred to this inductor, then due to this current there will be storing of magnetic field inside this inductor. Storing of magnetic field. Now how this magnetic field will be stored? We all know whenever an inductor has a current in it, as it is a conductor and the current is flowing through it, it produces the magnetic field. Now the magnetic field will start generating from here. It means you will find this inductor will have the magnetic field around it, and due to this magnetic field a back EMF will be generated, due to which this inductor will start storing the energy in the opposite direction. Means जिस direction में current flow कर रहा है उससे opposite direction में ये अपनी energy को store करना start कर देगा, right? So I guess it is clear to you. There is a capacitor and there is one inductor. The capacitor is capable of storing the electric energy or the electric field, and the capacitor is capable of storing the magnetic field or the magnetic energy. Now due to this closed path, this capacitor will start discharging and the current will start flowing through the inductor. Due to the flow in the circuit, the capacitor will start discharging, or you can say at a point will come and it will be totally discharged, but in between that this electrostatic energy stored in the capacitor has now been converted into the magnetic field energy which is associated in the inductor. And how it has happened? Because जब भी करंट फ्लो करेगा एक इंडक्टर में, इंडक्टर वो उसको अपोज करेगा, करंट को अपोज करने के कारण हम ये कहते हैं कि उसमें एक बैक ईएमएफ जनरेट होगा. उस बैक ईएमएफ जनरेट होने से क्या हो रहा है, उसमें एनर्जी जो है स्टोर हो रही है इन द फॉर्म ऑफ मैग्नेटिक फील्ड. नाउ इन द थर्ड केस व्हाट इज गोइंग टू हैपन? When this capacitor is totally discharged, then definitely due to the storage of the energy in this inductor will start radiating it, or there will be flow of the current in the opposite direction. Now the current will flow in this direction due to the back EMF generated in the inductor due to the discharging of the capacitor. Now this back EMF will charge the capacitor to the opposite voltage, or simply we can say that the lower plate of this capacitor will now be charged to the positive voltage and the upper plate of this capacitor will be charged to the negative voltage. Due to this, the capacitor will regain its energy in the form of electric field from the inductor, which was there in the form of magnetic field, and now this capacitor has been fully charged. It will transfer back its energy to the inductor by flowing the current in the opposite direction. This will continue. It means there will be a rate of change of energy between this inductor and a capacitor. So I am writing here, there will be a rate of change of energy between inductor and capacitor, and this rate of change of energy is called as the resonance. ये जो रेट है, जिस रेट पे ये एनर्जी को एक्सचेंज कर रहा है बिटवीन इंडक्टर एंड कैपेसिटर, इसको हम कहते हैं रेजोनेंस. Is it clear? And this there will be generation of a particular frequency, because I said there will be rate of change of energy, so definitely frequency is associated, which is equal to 1 by 2 pi root of LC. Now in the practical circuits, definitely there will be losses. This capacitor will have a dielectric. इसमें dielectric होता है. Due to that, there will be leakage of the charge. In the inductor we have small resistance. इसमें small छोटी सी resistance होती है बीच में, because this inductor is consisting of a wire. क्या कॉइल सभी ने देखी है, वो एक वायर से ही बनती है. उस वायर की अपनी एक रेजिस्टेंस होती है, दैट इज गिवन बाय R is equal to rho L by A. You all know this formula. So due to that, there will be losses in it, and you will find that in the starting, if the amplitude of this oscillation is this one, then definitely after some time this amplitude will be reduced, or you can say there will be decrease in the amplitude after every oscillation, and these kinds of oscillations which damped after some time are called as damped oscillations. Damped oscillations. So this is the basic idea, that if I want to generate a particular frequency, how I will do that. Oscillations की, but अब प्रॉब्लम क्या आ रही है? प्रॉब्लम आई कि ये ऑसिलेशन ज़्यादा देर तक नहीं टिक पाती, ये थोड़ी देर बाद खत्म हो जाती है. द रीजन इज this inductor is consisting of some resistance, or is having some resistance because of the wire used for it, and this capacitor dielectric has leakage in it. Due to that, these oscillations are damped oscillations. So in addition to this oscillators, in this case the tank circuit, we also need a circuit or an system which is capable of maintaining the amplitude of these oscillations. Then only these oscillations will continue in it. So what we do, I will make use of now here the positive feedback. So what is this positive feedback? So let us discuss this positive feedback systems. Now positive feedback means we are giving something from the output back into the input, and that is being added to my initial input. So if I draw another block, this is one block where I am giving an input. I will use here summation. This is my adding signal, right? So this is an input V in, and I am giving it to us, for example, an amplifier with gain A. Then definitely I will get an output which is equal to A times of V in. This is the simple operation of an amplifier, that whenever we apply an input, definitely some DC signals will be there. I'm not calculating those, or I'm not drawing that. So whenever we are giving an input to this amplifier, that output will be achieved, and that will be multiplied with the, that input will be multiplied with the gain of that, right? Now what I'm saying, I'm going to give the positive feedback over here. Now whenever I will give the positive feedback, what I will do, I will take the output and I will pass it through one more block. I will name it as the feedback block with gain beta, right? So this beta means here the input is V out, which is equal to A times of V in. It will be multiplied with the value of beta, and I will say here I will get the output Vf, that is the feedback voltage, which will be equal to beta times of V out, or simply equal to beta times of A or times of V in. Now this voltage will be added to it. Now I'm writing here plus. It means this will be added with the voltage V in. So definitely these two voltages will be added and then they will be amplified with the gain A and will be available at the output. And this process will be continued. Now look at my previous circuit, this beta circuit. If I say if this beta circuit is my oscillator circuit or producing oscillations. Now this beta circuit is producing oscillations which may be, for example, a tank circuit, LC circuit, or an RC circuit, where after some time the oscillations produced by this will be damped, means they all diminishes to zero. Now this is being added to the value of my input voltage. Right now I'm just saying input voltage, but if I remove it, or I will remove it later, I can say that this will be amplified with the gain A and available in the output. It means whatever the you can say the losses are there in the tank circuit or in the RC circuit, those losses will be overcome by this amplifier A with the gain A. It means if I remove, now if I make my V input equal to 0, if I remove this input voltage, then what will happen? इस इनपुट वोल्टेज को मैं रिमूव कर दूंगा तो जो ये मेरे पास एक बार मान लीजिए कि मैंने इनपुट लगाई, अभी के लिए हमें लग रहा है पता कि एक बार इनपुट लगाई, उस करके मेरे पास आउटपुट आई, दैट इज ए टाइम्स बी इन. नाउ आई हैव रिमूव्ड इट, इसको मैं हटा देता हूँ यहाँ से. जैसे ही इसको हटा दूंगा यहाँ पर तो आउटपुट जो थी दैट इज ए विन, दैट इज अवेलेबल. नाउ दिस ए विन विल बी मल्टीप्लाइड विद द बीटा and it will be again amplified with the A and so on. Now my point over here is to make the oscillations undamped. Undamped means that they should not damp with the time. It means they will remain like this. So this is my target. It means it should follow whatever the output it is there or whatever the input that is being fed in the complete cycle, that gain must be equal to 1. It means if I look at this gain, this is A, and in the complete circuit this gain will also be added, so the product of these two will be the overall gain of this system. So can I say, to make my oscillations undamped, whatever the output that is being fed over here, that must be equal to this value again. So it means the gain must remain equal to 1, or I can say the A beta value must be equal to 1 in terms of the magnitude if I say. So this is the one criteria for an oscillations to be undamped. These oscillations are undamped oscillations. डैम्प्ड के लिए तो डायरेक्ट है कि आपका एक टैंक सर्किट होगा, रेट ऑफ ट्रांसफर होना चाहिए एनर्जी और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड, इलेक्ट्रिक और मैग्नेटिक फील्ड के बीच में. द फ्रीक्वेंसी विल बी एसोसिएटेड ओवर देयर एंड दैट फ्रीक्वेंसी विल बी योर रेजोनेंट फ्रीक्वेंसी, और द फ्रीक्वेंसी जहाँ पे जो आपको अचीव होगी ऑसिलेशंस में. बट दैट इज डैम्प्ड. In order to achieve the undamped, we need to add an amplifier. We have added this amplifier, and this circuit is in the positive feedback, means whatever the output that we will achieve at the output of an amplifier, that will be multiplied with the feedback circuitry beta and will be added to the input. And when we will remove this input, V in को अगर हम zero करते हैं, so what will happen, whatever the output that we have achieved, that will circulate around it, but I don't want this to be reduced to 0 in my closed path. इसमें घूम रही है अंदर, but I don't want it to be reduced to 0. So in that case I want the product of this A and beta to be equal to 1. उसको मैं किसके इक्वल रखूंगा, 1, ताकि जितनी बार वो सर्किट में मल्टीप्लाई करे वो उतने के ही इक्वल आ जाए, उसमें जो लॉसेस हो रहे हैं वो खत्म हो जाए, वो लॉसेस गेन के द्वारा ओवरकम कर दिए जाए. बिकॉज डेफिनेटली कुछ लॉसेस होंगे, कुछ गेन होगा, वो ओवरऑल देखा जाए तो टोटल जो है मेरे पास प्रोडक्ट जब 1 आ रहा है, तो इट मीन जो मैं आउटपुट से वापस भेज रहा हूँ अपने सर्किट को, वो उतनी ही वैल्यू मुझे फिर से आउटपुट में दे रही है. सो द फर्स्ट थिंग दैट आई वॉन्ट हेयर फॉर द अनडैम्प्ड ऑसिलेशंस इज दैट my product of A and beta, where A is the gain of amplifier and beta is the gain of feedback circuit, that is beta. So this product of these two and its magnitude must be equal to 1. This is first case. Now whenever we talk about these oscillations or the sinusoidal signals, let me just drag these two diagrams below. Now, whenever we are discussing about these oscillations or these sinusoidal signals, along with the amplitude, as you can see, there is one amplitude over here. इसका एक amplitude है. Along with it, it also has a phase. This phase is 90 degree, for example. So it means now I have only discussed that the magnitude of the A beta must be equal to 1, but what about the phase? Phase is also important. Now assume here that I have applied an input with the phase 0 degree, but when I am feeding it back to my, I will use different color here. When I am feeding it back to my input after the output, its phase is shifted by 180 degree. What will happen? You all know, if a sinusoidal signal is there with the phase 0 degree and the other with the phase 180 degree, then definitely when they will be added, they will cancel out each other and the result will be equal to 0. It means in addition to the magnitude, we also have to look at the phase. So the criteria, one more that we will derive from here, that the overall phase of this circuit must be equal to either 0 degree or 360 degree. Because if the phase is different, then definitely different phases will add up and will result into the different outputs. But we want here output to be same. हर बार मुझे output क्या चाहिए, magnitude क्या चाहिए, same चाहिए. That will be only possible if they all are added in phase. अगर वो आप in phase में रखेंगे तभी वो आउटपुट आपको एम्पलीट्यूड में सेम मिलेगी. अगर वो थोड़ा बहुत भी आउट ऑफ फेस हो गया, आइदर बाय 10 डिग्री, 20 डिग्री और बाय 270 डिग्री और एनी डिग्री बिटवीन 0 to 360, then definitely they will cancel out each other, and or I must say that their output is not now with the same amplitude. So second condition over here is that the phase of A beta must be equal to 360 degree or 0 degree, or simply they must be in phase. So these two criteria are important. These two criteria are defined by a scientist, Bark-Hussein, and they are named after it. That is the Bark-Hussein criteria for the oscillators. Bark-Hussein criteria. Now what is this Bark-Hussein criteria? These are the two criteria. First one is that magnitude of A beta is equal to 1, and second is the angle of A beta must be equal to 0 or in phase. ब्रैकेट में देते हैं हम in phase. So Bark-Hussein, H-A-U-H-A-U-S-E-N criteria of oscillation. So these are the two Bark-Hussein criteria, or simply the criteria of the oscillations. Is it clear to you now? What is an oscillator and how we can achieve the undamped oscillations from that oscillator with the help of an amplifier? Any doubts related to it? Okay, so I will tell you one more thing related to it, which will give you a better understanding of this, the Bark-Hussein criteria. Now, you know that the gain in a feedback circuit, as I have drawn here, if you see this diagram, this is a positive feedback circuit. So in this positive feedback circuit, the overall gain is nothing but output voltage upon input voltage. You can see here the output voltage is this one and input voltage was this one, which I have assumed to be 0, but right now I will just say it is V in. So this overall gain of the voltage is defined as equal to AF, that is the gain with feedback. It is equal to A, that is the gain of the transistor or the amplifier, divided by 1 minus A beta. So this is the formula of the gain. Now look here, what I said in an oscillator. An oscillator is capable of generating the sinusoidal signals without any input. It means the value of the V in is equal to 0. If V in is equal to 0, then definitely that will be V output by 0 is equal to A upon 1 minus A beta. And can I say that if anything divided by 0, it is equal to infinity? And that will be only possible for this case will be only possible when the value of A beta is equal to 1. So from here also you can derive the Bark-Hussein criteria, that the magnitude of A beta must be equal to the value 1. Then only we can achieve an output without applying any input. Although over here I have told you that this is the input which I apply only at the starting of the circuitry, but in actual practice we never apply any input. So now the next question comes that from where does this V in comes? क्योंकि जब तक V in नहीं आएगा तब तक आपके पास V output अचीव नहीं होगा, because V output is A times V in. अगर मैं V in को ही बोल रहा हूँ 0 है स्टार्टिंग में, तो मेरे पास आउटपुट भी क्या होगी 0. आउटपुट 0 होगी तो वो फीडबैक में भी 0 ही वैल्यू जाएगी. So how this V in is achieved. Now in the transistors or in any circuitry or in any components, we have this thermal noise, right? This noise is there. Why I'm saying thermal noise? Because these devices always have this heating effect, and this produces the noise. So this V in is generated from that thermal noise, or from the noise is generated by the heat. So this, in the starting, this thermal noises gives as an input, and in the starting what we do, we make this gain to be slightly greater than 1. हम a beta को greater than 1 रखते हैं slightly. So if I write here, due to the thermal noise, V in is applied. थर्मल नॉइज से हम V in को अप्लाई करते हैं, एंड इन द स्टार्टिंग we make magnitude of a beta to be greater than 1. Why greater than 1? क्योंकि थर्मल नॉइज का एम्पलीट्यूड बहुत कम होगा, इतना होगा फॉर एग्जांपल, पर मुझे जो आउटपुट चाहिए वो थोड़ी ज़्यादा चाहिए, ये चाहिए मुझे ऑसिलेशंस का एम्पलीट्यूड. सो व्हाट आई वांट दिस गेन टू बी लार्ज, ताकि जब ये बार बार सर्किटरी से पास करे, इसका गेन जो है वो धीरे धीरे जो है वो इंक्रीज करता जाए. पहली बार में इतना हो जाएगा, दूसरी बार में और हो जाएगा, तो चौथी बार में इतना आ गया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल इन द फोर्थ लूप दिस गेन इज एज पर माई रिक्वायरमेंट, मुझे इतना गेन मिल गया, इतना एम्पलीट्यूड मिल गया. देन व्हाट आई विल डू, आई विल अगेन मेक इट इक्वल टू ए बीटा इक्वल टू 1. मैं इसको 1 के इक्वल कर दूंगा, बिकॉज वंस आई मेड इट इक्वल टू 1, वो मेरा जो एम्पलीट्यूड है वो फिक्स हो गया. अब इस एम्पलीट्यूड पे ही मुझे ऑसिलेशंस मिलेगी, जो लॉसेज होंगे वो ओवरकम हो जाएंगे, और जो फीडबैक सर्किटरी है वो ऑसिलेशंस प्रोड्यूस करता रहेगा. इज इट क्लियर नाउ? सो दिस इज हाउ दिस ऑसिलेटर्स आर capable of generating the oscillations. Now one more point over here is that in the earlier classes we have discussed about the rectifiers. Let me drag all these 3 diagrams down, because these are all related to RC phase shift. Now in the earlier classes we have discussed about this rectifier thing. Rectifiers के बारे में आपने पढ़ लिया था. So now let's relate this. What is a rectifier? Rectifier is a device that is capable of converting your AC into DC or DC into AC. Anyone? That's right. It is AC into DC. Now, how they are converting it? They have a sinusoidal signal and they are converting into the DC signal, right? So with the help of the filters, we achieve a signal like this, for example, of plus 12 volt. This was your 220 volt AC, right? So this is the operation that has been done by the rectifier. Now, if I look at this oscillator and if I relate it in the same way, an oscillator is taking the biasing voltages. Biasing voltages are nothing but the DC voltages, and they are converting it into the AC. So can I say that the oscillator is doing the exactly reverse operation that of a rectifier? Rectifier is converting your AC into DC, whereas oscillator is converting your DC into AC. In an amplifier, we only have that biasing circuit, biasing voltages and the input voltage as an AC, and that is amplified at the output. So in the amplifier, the output is being controlled. Over here, this you can see this output is being controlled by the input signal. If the input voltage is high, then definitely the output voltage will be more higher depending upon the amplifier gain, that is A. But in the case of the oscillator, as there is no input voltage V in 0, then all the AC signal, or you can say the output over here, the sinusoidal signal which we have obtained, is controlled by this DC signal. So these DC signals have a very major role in controlling the output of the oscillators. Is it clear? So this is all the basics of the oscillators. We have 2 different types of oscillators depending upon the frequency generated by them, or depending upon the circuitry they have. So in the books you will find the different types of categorization. First categorization is that is audio frequency and radio frequency oscillators. One is, अगर मैं कैटेगराइजेशन की बात करूं, so AF oscillators are there, RF oscillators are there. Then अगर higher frequencies पे जाएं तो very high frequency oscillators are there, और ultra high frequencies. After ultra high frequencies we have microwave frequencies. So depending upon the frequencies they are generating, we can categorize them as audio frequency. Audio frequency की range कितनी होती है? That is up to 20 kilohertz. रेडियो फ्रीक्वेंसी हमारी रहती है फ्रॉम 20 किलोहर्ट्ज टू, इन मेगाहर्ट्ज रख लेते हैं हम, 30 मेगाहर्ट्ज. देन वेरी हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी हमारी 300 मेगाहर्ट्ज तक होती है. अल्ट्रा हाई फ्रीक्वेंसी हमारी गीगाहर्ट्ज में चली जाती है. ऑल्दो माइक्रोवेव्स को भी हम मोर ग्रेटर देन 1 गीगाहर्ट्ज जो है वो माइक्रोवेव्स में काउंट करते हैं. So these are the different frequencies that an oscillator can generate, and depending upon that we can classify them. Then second is the type of the circuitry they have. So one is the, on the basis of that we can say a tuned circuit or LC circuit that I have told you right now, a tank circuit. Then we have an RC circuit. This is what we will discuss, RC phase shift oscillator. ये RC phase shift oscillator हम डिस्कस करेंगे, नेक्स्ट क्लास में डिस्कस करेंगे. देन वी हैव नेगेटिव रेजिस्टेंस ऑसिलेटर, और वी हैव द क्रिस्टल ऑसिलेटर्स. So on depending upon it we have different types. One more classification is this, that is the sinusoidal and the non-sinusoidal oscillators. Sinusoidal oscillators कौन से होंगे? जहां पर हमें साइनोसॉइडल सिग्नल मिल रहा है, लाइक दिस, ये साइनोसॉइडल सिग्नल मिल रहा है. नॉन साइनोसॉइडल, जिसको आप रिलैक्सेशन ऑसिलेटर के नाम से भी आपने सुना होगा कभी नाम, तो नॉन साइनोसॉइडल में हमारे पास आता है रिलैक्सेशन ऑसिलेटर. सो दिस रिलैक्सेशन ऑसिलेटर में हमारे पास नॉन साइनोसॉइडल सिग्नल मीन्स एक स्क्वायर सिग्नल आ गया, तो ये भी एक हमारा ऑसिलेशन है. So depending upon all this we can categorize these oscillators into variety of ways. हमारे जो सिलेबस में है we will discuss only this RC phase shift oscillator, Hartley oscillator and the Colpit oscillator, जो कि आपका LC सर्किट पे बेस्ड होता है. So we will start this topic in the next class. भी टाइम नहीं है. So any doubts related to it just let me know, otherwise I will stop my lecture over here.